Why are the chosen ones often alone, even when they long to share their life with someone? Why, if your soul is noble, if your heart is full of love, if your intention is pure, does it seem that true connections never arrive or dissolve too quickly? What if your isolation is not a punishment, but a divine protection? Many do not understand this kind of solitude. It is not the loneliness of someone who does not want to love. It is the solitude of someone willing to give everything, but the universe closes the doors again and again. It is looking into someone's eyes and knowing that you can love deeply, but the other person is not ready to receive that depth. It is opening your heart and feeling that the other is only seeking superficial company while you are offering a naked soul. And that hurts. It hurts in the center of the chest. It hurts in the memory of past lives. It hurts as if the soul was screaming to be seen, recognized, embraced, and yet continues walking in silence through this world. Many chosen ones ask themselves, what am I doing wrong? But the right question is not that. The real question is, why am I being set apart? What is my soul being isolated for? What few know, and what perhaps you're about to understand for the first time today, is that this isolation does not mean you are not worthy of love. It means your energy is so delicate, so powerful, so authentic, that the universe cannot allow it to be mixed with just anything. You are being preserved. You are being tuned like a sacred instrument. And although it hurts at first, later it will make sense. There are souls that cannot connect immediately because their vibrational field is in the process of purification. They need silence. They need emptiness. They need retreat. Not because they are incapable of love, but because the kind of love they carry does not fit into this world without prior preparation. If you felt that every attempt at connection fades or disappears without reason, it is not that you are broken. It is that you are in the process of remembering something very deep. This message is not for everyone. It is for you who have cried in solitude, wondering why others easily find a partner while you keep waiting for something you don't even know how to name. It is for you who do not want just another relationship, but a true soul-to-soul connection, light to light. Stay until the end, because you are going to discover why the universe has set you apart. And perhaps then you will understand that you were never alone, only being prepared. To be alone when you desire love, when you long to share life with someone, can feel like a contradiction of the soul, as if life itself were playing against you. But when you are chosen, your path is not like that of others, and neither are your bonds. Because before loving from the soul, you need to go through a process of deep emptying, where everything you are not must fall away. This isolation is not an accidental pause. It is an intentional act of the universe, a divine pause so that you stop vibrating from need and start vibrating from wholeness. Only then can you attract and sustain sacred connection. In this time of solitude, your soul is not being punished. It is being tuned. The love you've known until now was probably full of conditions, games, lack, projections. But you did not come to repeat old patterns. You came to manifest a different kind of love, one that does not come from anxiety or a desperate search to fill voids, but from the meeting of two beings who already see themselves as whole. And for that, you must go through the fire, through introspection, through silence. Because the healer, the awakened one, the chosen one, cannot unite with just anyone. Their vibration does not mix with the superficial, the fleeting, with what still vibrates in fear. That's why conventional relationships don't work for you. That's why your past bonds broke, because your soul began to rise and they could not follow you. This isolation is actually energetic protection, a safe space where you can discover who you are without losing yourself in another, where you can heal your oldest wounds, break pacts that no longer serve, and cut karmic ties that only delay your evolution. And when you have done that inner work, the universe will open the path, but not before. And here comes the most revealing part. Many times, the soul of the chosen one is not alone by decision, but by vibration, because their energy no longer fits with what the world offers as love. And that disconnection, although it hurts, is the first step to connecting with the true. So if you felt this loneliness as a void, as a heavy silence, I want you to know this. You are not alone. You are being guided towards something greater than you can now understand. And your soul knows it. That's why it keeps walking, even when it doesn't understand everything. If this message inspires you, and you believe more people should hear it, subscribe, like, and share your experience in the comments. Your support changes lives, because there are many other chosen souls out there who still don't know why they are alone. Your testimony may be the key that awakens them. Not everything that hurts is wrong. Not everything that breaks is a loss. Sometimes what breaks is precisely what was never meant to stay. And when the soul is chosen, life begins to empty it of everything that no longer vibrates with its purpose. That emptying feels like solitude, but in reality, it is protection. It is clarity. It is guidance. How do you know if this isolation you are experiencing is not a punishment, but a calling? There are signs that reveal it clearly, signs that, if you've lived them, leave no doubt. Your soul has been set apart for something greater. The first sign, you cannot sustain superficial relationships. And it is not arrogance or demand. You simply cannot pretend. You cannot talk about empty things when your heart is full of truth. You cannot connect with people who live asleep while you are in the middle of an awakening. You quickly disconnect from bonds that revolve around appearance, interest, fear, because your soul no longer vibrates there. Second sign, you feel discomfort or a natural rejection toward shallow connections. When someone approaches without a real intention to know you, you sense it immediately. Your body knows it. Your energy contracts. You might even experience anxiety, fatigue, or an urgent need to distance yourself. It's not personal rejection. It's your energetic system telling you this is not for you. Third sign, you've tried to open your heart, but the universe interferes again and again. When you feel you're about to connect with someone, something happens. The person disappears, the bond cools, unexpected obstacles arise. Everything seems to align to prevent the connection, and that can be frustrating. But when you see it from the soul, you understand. It's not sabotage, it's protection. The universe is taking care of your energy. It's preventing you from giving your light to someone who doesn't know how to value it. Fourth sign, you love deeply, but in silence and solitude. Love is still alive in you. It hasn't gone out, but it has no body to inhabit, no story to manifest in. So you hold it. You cultivate it inside. And although it seems like there's no one to give it to, in reality, you are preparing it for when the right moment comes. Because the love of the chosen one is not given halfway. It is given whole. It is given with purpose. And if you have felt one or all of these signs, then do not doubt it. Your isolation is not a lack, it is a calling. You have been set apart because you carry something sacred within you. Help this message reach more people. Subscribe, like, and tell us what spiritual signs you have experienced. You are not alone. Others are also remembering. And your story, no matter how small it seems, can be a light for someone else. There is a stage on the path of the chosen soul that not many understand, and that almost no one is willing to walk consciously: the sacred time of isolation. A deep and transformative moment where everything seems to stop, doors close, bonds dissolve, and the outer world loses intensity, so that the inner world begins to speak loudly. This time of solitude is not emptiness. It is incubation. It is a spiritual incubator where your soul is being reconfigured, where your energy is being purified, and your purpose aligned. The universe sets you apart not to punish you, but to protect you, to prevent you from mixing with frequencies that no longer resonate with what you are, to stop you from falling into patterns of dependency again, to prevent you from giving your light to those who cannot hold it. Because there are moments when your soul doesn't need company. It needs silence. It needs space. It needs to heal. And that only happens in stillness, in retreat, in that invisible ground where you can no longer run outward and are forced to look inward. During this time, many things break, but nothing essential breaks. Masks fall, attachments collapse, bonds you once felt necessary dissolve. And although the ego screams, the soul knows this is reconstruction, because you cannot build something sacred on contaminated foundations. The soul needs clean, free, true foundations. You are learning to love without depending, to connect without losing yourself, to give without emptying yourself. You are learning that fullness does not come from finding someone else, but from fully finding yourself. And from that wholeness, everything that comes will be a reflection, not a substitute. Many avoid this process. They run toward new relationships, new stimuli, new distractions. But sooner or later, the soul will ask for this space again. Because without this sacred time, true awakening does not occur, and the love you deserve cannot manifest if you are not ready to receive it from full consciousness. So if today you're going through this stage of isolation, honor your path. Don't rush it. Don't question it. Breathe within it. Because what is being born in you is not a stronger version, it is a truer one. And that, dear soul, changes everything. The soul of the chosen one does not seek love to feel complete. It seeks to share its completeness. And when that love arrives, it will arrive differently, not to fill an emptiness, but to amplify your light, not to rescue you, but to walk with you, not to distract you, but to expand you. Maybe you've wondered many times why life has kept you alone for so long, why stories don't flourish, why, despite all the love you have to give, that person with whom to share your path has not arrived. Maybe you've come to think that something is wrong with you, that you don't know how to love, don't know how to attract, don't know how to maintain. But today, I want to tell you something that perhaps no one has told you before. It's not that you are not loved. It's that you are being preserved. Preserved for something greater than yourself, for something your soul already knows, even if your mind doesn't yet fully understand. What you carry inside is so valuable, so unique, so sacred, that it cannot be shared with just anyone. You are being prepared, because solitude, when it comes from the soul, is not the absence of love. It is preparation for a true, deep, divine love. A love that does not come to fill empty spaces, but to meet a light that already shines on its own. A love that does not ask you to be less, that does not demand you shrink to fit in, that does not drag you into fear or attachment, but lifts you, honors you, respects you, because it recognizes in you what also lives in itself. This time, you have lived in silence, in introspection, in solitude. Has been necessary. It has been your sanctuary. It has been the place where your spiritual strength, your emotional clarity, your inner freedom have been growing. What seemed like stagnation was activation. What seemed like abandonment was alignment. What seemed like solitude was the prelude to your deepest awakening. And when the moment comes, because it will come, it won't be like before. You will no longer need to chase. You will no longer need to convince. You will not have to beg for emotional crumbs or settle for half-hearted bonds, because your soul will recognize, and it will be reciprocated in energy, in truth, in purpose. So today, I invite you to honor your stage of isolation, to see it not as a lack, but as a spiritual privilege.